Hard work does not pay off. Leverage does. Now, if this sounds at all wrong to you, then you're probably one of the billions of people who don't understand the difference between the two. And that is the main reason why you are not doing what you should be and living the life you really want. If you believe that success, wealth, and freedom are things that are out of reach for you because you weren't born into them, or you aren't smart enough, or you're just unlucky, I can prove to you that it's just because you're not properly using your leverage. So I'm going to show you how to identify areas where you already have leverage, and trust me, you do, how to build on that leverage, and how you can apply this principle to go into business for yourself, build a brand, achieve your own financial independence, enhance your self-awareness, and accomplish the goals you have even faster. Now, the general public loves the concept of hard work, but if you look around, there are plenty of hardworking people that are not happy, plenty of hardworking people that are living below their means and below their dreams, and that is because working hard does not equal being happy. Now, of course, good things don't come easy, but we have to ask ourselves, how hard is happiness to achieve really? It's not easy, but it is easier when you properly utilize leverage. Think about some of the people you look up to, and it doesn't matter who it is. Maybe they're rich or popular or powerful. Now think about how they achieved those things, and you'll most likely be able to point to where they have built leverage. So the first question I want to ask is, what is so great about hard work? What we think of as hard work is really nothing more than labor. You know what's better than labor? Money. Now, your employer has leverage in the form of money. You want the money that they have, so he or she agrees to pay you for your labor, not for your good looks or your sparkling personality, just your labor. And labor is the lowest form of leverage you have because it is easily replaceable. And even specialized labor is relatively easy to replace because there's always somebody who can be trained to do the exact same thing. So consider the job that you're in. There was somebody who was doing what you do before you. See, so you are the replacement. Look at all the worker strikes going on. You think this is because all the people are so valuable to the corporations that they work for? No. Artificial intelligence is taking a lot of leverage out of the system, and it's really shaking up the world. These strikes are happening because the people who work for these corporations are either in the process of losing or have already lost their leverage. What most people don't understand about the difference between leverage and labor is that leverage means putting less labor in but getting much more output. That is the entire essence of labor. It is completely one-dimensional. Labor does not scale, it does not create anything, and it certainly does not pay you while you sleep. Leverage is all about supply and demand, and if demand outpaces supply for something that you possess, whether it's skills, abilities, or assets, you, my friend, have leverage. You can pretty much name your price because you have something valuable that other people are willing to give you something valuable, money, attention, recommendations, in return. And if you can build your leverage to a large enough level, you can have your own little monopoly. And I know that we're all taught that monopolies are bad, but they're actually very useful when it comes to building wealth. And that is exactly what we want. We want to allocate our resources to the activities that will generate the highest return on our investment, which is exactly how you and I will build the wealth that we so richly deserve. So where is your leverage? To understand this, we need to talk about opportunity and understand the difference between high leverage opportunities and low leverage opportunities. When I was younger, I thought that as long as I was making money, I was getting ahead. But I didn't learn until years later that doing odd jobs and trading my labor and time for money was not going to make me rich. It wasn't even going to make me more comfortable. And that is because it does not scale. Once again, for those in the cheap seats, labor does not scale. Leverage is usually identified by something being unique, easier, better, or faster. And if you own the product, process, or information for accomplishing that, then you own the leverage and it is yours to monetize as you wish. So for leveraging what you have to gain more, you have to identify and focus on what you can do uniquely, easier, faster, or better, and then market yourself as the owner, an expert, or just a unicorn. These are your high leverage opportunities because you own them. Athletes leverage their abilities to make millions of dollars. Models leverage their looks, and some people think it's shallow or whatever, but it's just leverage. Google leverages their data collection. Amazon leverages their efficiency. Have you ever seen the inside of an Amazon warehouse? Your local plumber leverages their skills for getting that massive Taco Bell dump you took 2 days ago to finally flush. And we gladly patronize them because they give us value. Some give us more value than others, and we pay accordingly, but they are unique, or they help us to do things easier, better, or faster. So ask yourself, what do you leverage? I'll wait. I'm just kidding. Now, if you're having difficulty coming up with an answer, it's probably just because you haven't realized it or you haven't developed it enough. An easy way to kind of find it is to consider what is the one thing that you are known for, or the one thing that comes easy to you, or the one thing that you're passionate about, or something that you would consider yourself an expert about. Now, once you get something, that is where you should build your leverage. Learn as much as you can about that one thing that you can then turn into a useful, value-packed offering that you can give to a specific audience that will benefit the most from it. This is what all the big boys do, and you can do it too. It is called productizing yourself. I would encourage you to do some research on the one-person business model so that you can start leveraging your skills and abilities into an offering that you could then use to generate an income. Most people have no idea how to productize themselves, and that's because traditional education and culture tell us not to. They want us to be the worker bees that make up the labor force. And the American education system is just a labor force pipeline. Just look up the history of the Prussian educational system that our current system is based off. The purpose of it is to simply generate competent laborers. And I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist or anything, but the history and the facts are there. I don't even need to give it some bizarre interpretation. So this isn't me cherry picking information to fit a particular narrative. I think that sharing this information with as many people as possible will help to stimulate the entrepreneurial mindset that will help to lift people out of the limited possibilities that keep us from living our ideal lives. And I also think that entrepreneurship directly correlates with self-awareness, and this is the reason why I push it so hard. So there are a lot of steps to take in starting and building a business, and I'm going to talk about these more in the future. But even if you aren't really interested in business, I think that understanding leverage, which is ultimately your value proposition, is square one for getting the things you want. If you saw my last video, you know that I talked about prioritization as a means of focusing your resources to get more done faster. But that's a two-sided coin, and the other side of that coin is leverage, which is focusing your resources into the things that will give you a disproportionately high return in relation to what you put into it. So I'm going to take a minute to bash the current state of employment that I'm currently making my way out of and think that you should be too. Most of us stay in our jobs way too long and become overly leveraged there. The problem is that we develop skills that are so specific to the organizations and companies that we work for that we're basically useless outside of them. And we are terrified to leave them because we don't feel like anybody else is going to value us the way our previous employer did. But there is no such thing as working for a company your entire life and in that company taking care of you in retirement anymore. So that is not our goal. My goal is to help you to exercise your self-awareness so that you can start and build a business for yourself so that you can have more freedom. And I have my own personal reasons for why I believe that this is what you and I should be doing. But I think that true financial freedom is being able to generate your own income with your own skills, abilities, and assets so that you don't have to rely on anyone. And this is mandatory if we are going to live the lives that we really want. So, to be continued. I hope that you gained something very valuable from this video and that I've lit a fire under you to start looking for your own high leverage opportunities so that you can start to build your own business, build your own brand, and ultimately monetize something that helps a ton of people and makes you a ton of money. So I hope that you have the best day of your life, the best week of your life. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next video.